However, who knew that the Germans were going to translate the Russian opera into German? Just totally unexpected. However, it was still beautiful and she enjoyed it. Prince Igor is the name of that one. By the way, Schopenhauer was honored by Wagner. Wagner sent the score dedicated to Schopenhauer for the whole Ring cycle. And unfortunately, Wagner never got a response back from Schopenhauer before he died. But his wife, Cosima, got a response from Schopenhauer and was glad that Wagner had died first. Because Schopenhauer, true to form, thought it was terrible and had all kinds of, criticisms, in the text. His main concern was that Wagner had kind of made the language ancient. So kind of like the Bible, has thee and thou and stuff, as opposed to you and you. Well, Wagner did sort of a similar thing to make it seem like it was an ancient German myth. And Schopenhauer hated the whole thing and criticized the whole thing. And so Cosima was absolutely thrilled. Thank goodness he died before he saw the response from Schopenhauer. His hero, Schopenhauer, hated this whole thing. So imagine. So that's cool. Nietzsche, I guess, he's definitely been influential, as you can imagine. Really began influencing American philosophers in the late 60s, and especially in Texas. There's a university in Texas that had like a Nietzsche faculty for some reason. The main translator that was important for the works of Nietzsche was Walter Kaufmann. And notice, I'll go to Walter Kaufmann instead of, you can see the next one is Nietzsche, Philosopher, Psychologist, Antichrist, a book by Walter Kaufmann. But Walter Kaufmann was a Princeton professor. He was born in Germany, came to the U.S. when he was a high school student. His parents migrated prior to the war. Almost similar to Henry Kissinger. Anybody familiar with Henry Kissinger, who Kissinger is? Parents probably hate it. And I've gotten in trouble with some online folks because I read Henry Kissinger's books. I have all of them, actually. And in response, someone gave me grief. You're reading Henry Kissinger? And I said, well, he's a genius. And it seems to me that you ought to read things like that, even if you don't agree with them. But there are folks that feel like you shouldn't even read the stuff if you hate him because of he was in Richard Nixon's cabinet and was responsible in many people's eyes for the way the Vietnam War played out, etc. But Kaufmann ended up being a philosopher himself, but mostly translating Hegel, Goethe, Nietzsche, and so